Hello. So I've been reading this really interesting book called In Search of the Miraculous by this guy called Ouspensky. And the thing is, he basically studied with a guy they called a magician in Russia called Gurdjieff. This guy could supposedly read minds, have some kind of psychic powers, predict the future. So it was really interesting to read about some of the things that he's talking about, because I do believe in magic in the sense that there are a lot of things that science can't explain, and we don't know how that happens, or we rather close off to that kind of knowledge because we have been taught to part from a materialistic part or paradigm of the world. Now, wait, let me pause my music, guys. I'm doing this. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to pause the video. Okay, I'm gonna have to make this video while I'm listening to hard metal at the gym. Anyway, Gurdjieff talks about mastery of ourselves and training in a way that we don't have to renounce our current lives in a way. So he calls the way of the monk having to renounce everything and go and live in the mountains and practice asceticism, renounce to all pleasures, renounce material objects, renounce everything and just sit in meditation. Then he talks about the way of the fakir, about training the body, leaving everything else, not training the mind, not training meditation, but just training the body. Think about just bodybuilding, and that's it. Just training the body to make it stronger and and be resilient. Then he talks about the way of the yogi, and that's basically just training the mind like a scholar, just trying to live in academia in a tower, kind of like the glass bead game, if you read that book. And then he says, okay, we don't have to do that. There is a fourth way, which basically works because the human being is not it is a whole. We have different centers, and only by training all of them can we attain a evolution or a mastery of ourselves. And to be honest, I'm sticking to this, then I'll give my opinion on that. It really makes sense because he talks about the thinking center, the emotional center, the movement center, the intuitive center, and then, if we think about it, that's right. We receive thoughts, we receive feelings. The body can move and it can do things before the mind or the feelings come, and they affect each other. We know this in acting or training or power poses. You do a certain thing and it affects your psychological life. And then we have the intuitive center, which is basically, and the sensory one, which is intuitive is that other kind of intuition that foretells events before they even happen. I don't know. There was this one time where I was I was driving, and then I saw a car and a motorcycle, and then I felt this impulse and a thought appeared as well. It was they're gonna crash, and 4 seconds after that, the bike crashes into the car, and I thought that was really dope. So I don't know, that's kind of the intuitive side. So we can work on these and detach from just being overly invested in one. In our case, I think our age, the thinking mind is the one that's predominant, and we tend to want to solve everything through the thinking mind, which gets us into a loop that self-references itself, but then it's too late, because we detach from reality. We create an illusion, and we create a mini ego or mini executive that is trying to decide based on unlimited knowledge. So opening up to more of that and training the different centers, moving, training emotional intelligence, and then also meditating to observe the thoughts and let these illusions dissolve is how we foster growth and plant seeds that help us see all that we have as human beings. He calls human beings as machines, that we are just running around with programs in our heads, doing the default path and mode. And that's right. If we never question those things and we never walk our own path and embrace doubt and uncertainty, we're going to be stuck there forever. And it's about committing to that higher meaning or purpose and being in service to it, I think. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting book. I'm going to go and read Ouspensky's second book. I think it's A New World. And then I'm going to get into Gurdjieff's teachings after that too. Yeah, I think Ouspensky was more intellectual than and Gurdjieff, so I'm excited to read that directly from the source. It's kind of like Plato and Socrates in a way. Not really, but, kind of like Ouspensky is Gurdjieff's Plato. If that makes sense. What do you think about this? Have you had any experience with this? Do you like it? Have you read it? No? Let me know down below. Have a good one.